Hey, it's Rob GillT channel, your property channel. If you haven't watched this channel before, it's all about property, all about Cape Town, all about South Africa, and it's a bit of fun as well. Now, today, I want to chat to you about when you move into your new home, a few things to do when you move into your new home in South Africa. It's really important to know just things that you forget about. You know, you get your new home and you're in there and whatnot, and all you want to do is get in and throw the party. Now, throwing the party is really important because if you throw the party, you start cleaning up and getting unpacked, which is a good thing. So let's get started. Let's chat about this. And well, before we go there, don't forget, pop down to the description box. Got my varsity down there that explains how to invest, make money, that sort of thing. And there's also a lot of promos on the go, so check it out. Let's get started with the video. Here we go. So what's one of the first things you're going to do, you know, when you walk into a new home? Well, something you might want to look at is the locks. Okay, are the locks all working? Is everything in place? And perhaps you might want to change those locks. Entirely up to you, depending. But a lot of people will have staff in their houses, will have people cleaning their homes, and they would have given them keys, they would have given them remotes, all kinds of things like this. And then they've got a key to your home. And if they did decide to come back or give it to anyone untoward, it's a bit of a tricky situation. So it's just something to think about, something to keep in mind when you move into your new home. Not something people do, not something I even consider most of the time, but it is a thought. It is a thought. And if you're security conscious, I mean, a lot of people will move into estates and all kinds of fancy things, and they'll forget about the fact that the previous people would have made loads of copies of the keys, would have given them out to everyone, and they've got access to your home. Good thought. Perhaps consider that, okay? Then the other thing is to figure out where all your shut-off valves are, all your trip switches, your DB boards, that sort of thing, okay? Because when something goes wrong, and it probably will, you need to know where that stuff is, okay? If the lights trip and it's dark, you want to know where it is. If the water starts leaking somewhere, you want to know where that shut-off valve is. So that's just something to keep in mind, you know, like, where is that stuff? Where do I find it, and where are the meters, and where's the electrical meter, and you know, the whole nine yards. So when you're moving in, it's really important to find that stuff and know where it is. Ask the previous owner, ask the previous tenant, whatever the case, if they know where that stuff is and if they can help you with it and what to do and the ins and outs. Normally with a key handover, you know, if we sell a property to someone, we'll do most of the stuff, and some people will make lists of questions. I'd have a list of questions as to where everything is. But a lot of people are so excited, they just grab the keys, move into the house, and that's all good. And then they end up like phoning people afterwards and trying to find these things out which is already in place and already happened. So that's normally too late, especially if there's a plumbing leak or something, you need to shut off the water. I mean, it takes you quite a while to get hold of someone to find out where the shut-off valve is, and then you phone them and think, I can't remember exactly. If you know where it is, you know where it is. End of story. So much better. Another big thing you might want to do is a deep clean, especially if the property has carpets in it. Carpets collect all kinds of dirt and smells and goodies and whatnot. You might want to either change the carpets out, put something else in, or put new carpets in, or you might just want to have them deep cleaned. The house itself, all the nooks and crannies and corners and that sort of thing needs cleaned out. And that brings me to another thing, and that is like toilet seats. A lot of people might actually want to replace the toilet seats completely, whereas others will just clean them up or whatever the case. Other people have used them, and your house is not a public toilet, so it's just a thought, you know, toilet seats and that sort of thing, and carpets and dirt. And you might want to just do a deep clean before you move your furniture in and it's in the way. If you have a chance to do that. If you don't, you're going to have to do it later. The other big thing is not to forget the alarms, the codes, the remotes, the switches and that sort of thing, how to work it, how to change the code to suit yourself, because that as well, somebody's been given a code for this alarm. You know, they can just walk in and switch it off and do their thing. Not the previous owner, it's the people that he's had employed, that has been working in his house or her house or whatever the case at home, and they've had access, all right? You don't want them to have that access. So alarms, figure out the codes, figure out how to work them, look at security companies that are coming to look after your house. And that's, especially in South Africa, there's a lot of, you know, security firms and companies looking after you and that sort of thing. So, you know, go for that. The other thing is know your area, know where you are, you know, who's who and what's what, and get to meet your neighbors. Meet your neighbors and find out if there's a WhatsApp group or a Facebook group or a group that controls your corner or your street or whatever the case, where everybody communicates and talks to each other. Always good when your neighbors know you or you know your neighbors, is when something happens, they can contact you, you can contact them, and these are things that get sorted out rather quickly. It's always better to know your neighbors. Know if you have an electric fence, how it works, and what to do in the event of, and that sort of thing. So security is quite a big thing. It's really important, and then of course you've got to throw your party. Now, throwing your party is really important, because throwing your party gets you packing, it gets you cleaning up, it gets you ready. Because if you don't throw a party, you'll have boxes in the garage for the next 20 years or lying in the lounge or whatever the case. So get that all cleaned away, get that all sorted out, and get yourself sorted. So just a few quick things, you know, you get to a new home, you forget to do all these things, and there's still much more to consider, many things to consider. And if you have anything in mind, put it in the comments so somebody else can see it, you know, somebody else check it out and whatnot, and they'll know that, oh yes, I got to do that as well, or oh yes, I got to do that as well. When you're buying the property, you've got to look at things like how much will paint cost, you know, if I want to repaint it, what needs repaired, what do I need to repair, you know, all those sort of quotes. But that's a different video altogether. It's just that when you're moving in, you want to have all your stuff ready, you want to be ready for it. So these are just a few things to do when you move into your house and enjoy it, right? So if you enjoyed the video, don't forget, smash the subscribe button on YouTube, like my Facebook page, and follow me on Instagram. Don't forget to comment and let me know what you think. And the other thing, the really big thing, is don't forget, I sell property. Call me first. Till next time, Rob GillT. Cheers.